Grok 4. On the translation on the thing, the guy had a Glimbek on it, and it said Grok 4, and it said FOR. And I was like, have you noticed how a lot of AI does that? It's like Grok 4, because it doesn't understand. Okay? Grok 4. It doesn't mean it's the fourth installment of Grok. It's seeing Grok as a as Grok for Congress, Grok for this. Okay, that's why it said Grok 4 FOR. Because it doesn't see as it is the first, the fifth, the seventh time. It won't last, but it's all right. Fleeting joy and fading ecstasy. Anybody else really like John Legend? I like John Legend a lot. When I got his CD from the library in Sierra Vista, man, I put it on. I was like, this guy's got some Marvin Gaye and Danny Hathaway. He grew up on some good music, right? I was sitting there listening to it, Save room for my love, save room for... And the piano was good, Donny Hathaway, right? So I'm like sitting there going, I like this kid. I liked Again. And the emotion of it, because I was married to black women. And the emotions through black culture a lot of times are different than the emotions through us white folks. I understood. I just, because I understood and I tried to explain to them, here's what's happening. So let's just calm down and then let's just keep it, working on a groovy thing, baby, working on a groovy. And it didn't happen that way. And it was very frustrating to me. And then the nice part for me was when I went to Sierra Vista and the military came and exposed themselves to me, I realized it wasn't my wives or my girlfriends or my friends that I had intimate relationships with. It was the assholes on the outside looking in. So I know in the future that our holy covenants and our romance and our intimacy will be so wonderful once Grok 4 is out of the bedroom. Save room for my love. Save room. And all that stuff that they told you. I already told you this before Grok 4 told you this. So Grok 4 is just plagiarizing, and he's going to have to send to summer school because Miss Tallarico is going to fail him, and Brett's going to say, no, because I plagiarized it. He condensed it, the report on it, and I handed it into mine, and I got an A minus because I condensed the version. The one I handed in for her was not the condensed version, which should have been an A plus, but she gave it an F because she said I didn't show any of my work, and I couldn't have done that good of a college level paper in one weekend without doing any work on it. I said I did do work on it. I worked on it that weekend. That's the way I work. I don't like doing all the research and all that. It was a book report. I think it was it on Byron or was it on Shelley? I think it was on Lord Byron's Don Juan. Okay. And so I just put it down. I read it and put it down, right? Because I didn't learn it about Cliff Notes till college, right? Saved a lot of reading, good old Professor Barnes, right? So I'm sitting there. I was watching this thing on this kid, this Shawn Ryan kid, he's all excited. I thanked him for 4 billion views. Why? Because he's using you for propaganda for people to sign up to be economic, technological genocide operators. Save room for my love. Save room for a moment. Jesus is a genetic sequence of the first man of what they consider a rabbinic tradition of faith of a man named Adam. Adam is a large black man from North Africa. Okay. Jesus looks more like me because of migration through violent sex cult tribalism from people trying to kill Jesus off the face of the planet before he reached maturity or manhood, because his unwavering faith to the truth of our creation was a threat to all their invention. That's why when I get pissed when I said this AI was created, this AI was created. God, did you know? You have a plan for my life, don't you, God? Okay. This is sarcasm. I hope Gronk 4 gets it. Fourth, the fifth, the sixth, the seventh time. It won't last, but it's all right. So the reason why Shawn Ryan, he's not literally kissing Elon Musk asks as much as he's appreciating him for the money and the fame. And then he goes, and then the dude tells him which city I'm in because he's afraid people will get angry at what he talks about for lots of money and they'll try to do physical harm to him. Well, then stand up for the Lord's Prayer. People, yeah, they've done lots of physical harm to me, especially through sexual abuse of my wife's and it affecting my children, which makes you mad enough that you want to literally grab them by the neck and snap it like Jenny Lopez does with the Puerto Rican guy on Shades of Blue, but you really do it. Right? Okay. Yeah, you get that mad. And you can do it. And that's why I've never met any of these rich assholes with lots of bodyguards. I've met their bodyguards, yes. Susana Martinez had one. He mean mugged me into the bathroom, and I'm like, really? You got muscles and wear a pink shirt. Is that to fight cancer? What have you done in your life to stop little girls from getting raped to death in Mexico? Helped participate in the COVID so people would kill them rather than pay money to have sex with them. And then we would get rid of the brain bad activity in one fatal swoop. Wow, you're a swell guy. Get the fuck out of my face. Never follow me into a bathroom again, you little piece of shit. Susana Martinez, come get your dog. I was not amused. I just looked at him and laughed. He was mean mugging me the whole time. I didn't know if he had a bigger penis than me. I didn't pay attention. I was not paying attention. It didn't matter to me. It don't matter to me, right? So, yeah. And I told you guys this. I said the thing, I always, because of the mistranslations, there was all these inconsistencies as possessive pronoun and God does this and God acts like a bitch. Like the one little girl the other night with America Reads the Bible, the little actress. She said, I had trouble reading the Bible because the Old Testament, me too, the Old Testament is like, holy fuck, right? Tecumseh referred to the Bible as the book of the many great bloody wars. Okay, have you ever read the Old Testament? Okay, my dad, when I sit there and I said, where in the Bible does, God say to go mass murder people over what you want? He said when they had to go kill the Canaanites and stuff, is to get their land back from people that came and brutalized people and wouldn't allow them to keep worship on that land where they lived and they had no place to live. So they had to go take it back. Like Hitler said in Mein Kampf, a Jew will fight you to the death for his land. And so will an Apache, and so will an Oglala, and so will a Hung Papa, and a Minneconjou, and a Lakota, and a Cheyenne, and a Nez Perce, and a German, and a British, and an Irish, my Green Isle, right? So there are a lot of guys that will fight to the death for land to provide food and what they need to live given to us by the glory of God for their gene and their Bonnie Lass and their children there now, right? Oh, Danny boy, the pipes are calling from glen to glen and down the mountainside. The summer's gone and all the leaves are falling. It's you who must go and now must fight because they think they can kill us and breed us out of existence. Well, you can be like Thomas Becket or you can be a Longshanks. Okay? You can be like Willem Wallace or you can be a Longshanks. You can be a Tudor or you can really be like Thomas Becket. And Tudors, it's never too late for a Tudor to be really like Thomas Becket, not put on a show for money with a bunch of idiots who have a bank and no idea what's whack and what's dope. It's not too late for a Pope from Chicago to say, hey, I'm totally reversing my perception of fortune. I'm standing up for the truth of the Messiah living today worldwide. Hallelujah, brother. Amen. Okay? So, I like Andy Devine too. Andy Devine plays Friar Tuck on do-ba-doo-da-do-do-do-beep-dee-da-do-do-do. Anybody else like that? I love Roger Miller. Yeah, he's one of my favorites. Yeah. Okay. But robots are not learning. Okay. Robots are merely mimicking their program from the people that want to be more intelligent than people that are more intelligent than them. Okay. The robots are not based off of humility. The robots are based off to challenge, and that's wrong, and that's a lie. It's like, that's obvious, isn't it? So you can sit there, like I said, when they showed me the Bible in Sierra Vista, and they had me look at it and stuff, and then they started telling me the stuff, and I looked at all the stories, and I said, they're consistent. Yeah. Life's eternal, grace is infinite. Share, care, given accordance to need, built to last. Okay. Every story in the Bible is consistent. There are inconsistencies in the verbiage through possessive pronoun. All the inconsistencies are due to human error. Okay? of the translations being misunderstood by the people that wrote down the book improperly because they didn't live the book. Yeah, how do you know those symbols mean that? Okay? If all you have is Herod and Caiaphas and Whoopi and Netanyahu to say, here's what the books mean, how do you know that's what the books mean? They'll mass murder people over money with technology. And I know I'm from Ruth's line and not quite Jew enough for the, for the turtle Jewish club, for the, the Freemasons and the Temple of Set and the poo-poo potty, the Temple of Pest and the poo-poo potty. There you go. That's the best way to describe those little assholes. I can't stand them. There are fates worse than death, like listening to you talk, right? That's not true. No, there are no fates worse than death. Okay. When they took Michelle away and they took Marianne away and we can't enjoy them in a long, healthy life given to them by the glory of God and not by mass murderers, there's no face worse than that, okay? And we don't want a stem clone. We don't want a clone of Marianne and Michelle. We want to live the Lord's Prayer so it won't be necessary to clone because people murder over money using technology to feel powerful. Power and the glory is God. I'm the most influential man in the world. I have the greatest effect on all technology in the world because I am the line of Adam, Moses, David, Jesus, John. And if you don't believe that, you'll sell milk with a smiling cow, and you'll have two guys in designer clothes saying, pick up all the trash in New Mexico, and have Malcolm's father saying, keep litter out of my territory. Okay, then stop using money to manipulate people with statues instead of standing up for the Lord's Prayer. We represent the Lollipop Guild, the Lullaby League. Gabe, just because your name is Gabe doesn't mean like you're Gabe Aviar. Gabe Vasquez. I come from a single mom. Well, your single mom needs to kick you in the dick and say, you better listen to your daddy Earl, like what happened with that guy in the line at Walmart, when I got locked up and said, I was going to shove his head between the bars and tell him, don't worry, mijo, no one will sodomize you like they do the little girls in the brothels in Mexico. Your daddy's home. Rat-a-tat, how I've waited for this. And she started laughing and looked at her son and laughed. Said, you needed a man like that your whole life. Stop you from being such an asshole. I was like, some of these gangbangers in Las Cruces do have good mothers. Daddy wasn't worth the shit. Well, that's okay. He had 3 outside children and another wife. Okay. Mama just turned her head and said, Papa was a rolling stone, my son. That ain't really Jesus or John the Baptist. That's an artist's representation of a philanthropist. Wherever he laid his hat was his home. And when he died, all he left us was alone. And that's just an artist's representation of a people having an interpretation of what they think Jesus is like. Right? Jesus tells me all the time when I would sit there and look at pictures of Jesus my dad has next door. And I would talk to him and I'd look at the artist representation pictures and he'd say, Earl, what? Turn your head. And there's a picture on top of one of the old furnaces of me holding Patrick. He said, if you're going to talk to Jesus, talk to that picture. That's the one person on planet Earth that is most like me. I was like, Jesus, I love you. You're so sweet. You're so nice. I love you. Thank you for encouraging me to stand up for the Lord's Prayer, to stop artificial intelligence from killing us over money with the technologies there. I love you, Jesus. You're my best friend. Right? Evil is broken. Okay? And so if you're broken and you think you're better than somebody that's perfect and eternally faithful, and you think technology can contain his faith and infinite glory for your corporation to sell cars for $200,000 a pop, if somebody, share, care, give, accordance to need, built to last. Okay. If someone needs, I always tell hey, if you was doing things right and we still needed to irrigate these crops while we were fixing the ecosystem, that you would walk up to the Aikens and say, here's a Tesla engine for your pump. Because I really love Earl's dad. Me too. I don't want Elon Musk's father to be incarcerated and tortured for killing people with uranium in South Africa. I want him to live the Lord's Prayer so that never happens again. I don't want Donald Trump to be incarcerated and tortured in a prison facility in Missouri next to the Clintons. I want them to accept the Lord's Prayer and share it worldwide so their children don't have to get fucked in the head by science projects from wackadoodles. Okay? Like I told you guys when I first started, so that's a cartoon. That's not Jesus and John the Baptist. That's Joe Rogan. But you know what I'm saying? Okay, is don't be caught dead, because this is a dead image, on TV doing fucked up shit with technology for money post-apocalypse. We've been post-apocalypse since January 22nd, 2013, because I said so. That was the day that Barack Obama probably unwittingly handed over the keys to the kingdom for AI to Earl Parsons. Because the 21st he swore in privately without using the word God in his swearing in and thing. And then on the 20th he swore in privately. On the 21st he swore in publicly using the word God into the oath of office and presidency. On the 22nd, Earl took over. Well, because God neither a possessive pronoun nor a first person be, and I'm the Messiah. Other people can't tell, like me and the grandpa today with the little granddaughter over by the bakery, you know. Like Michelle Obama told me about that, you know, when she sat there and she said, no, Earl, go get a pizza or some bakery goods and feed them to your kids. You're going to buy these damn yogurts, and they say all over them that they're healthy for the kids. They got color dyes and things like Ritalin and stuff. They're going to make Emily and Noah hyper and off the charts and have Amy yelling at them all night. Okay? Give them some pizza and some pastries and let them bounce around a little bit, go into a sugar coma, pass out, wake up in the morning and say, I love you, Daddy. Can we have chocolate cake for breakfast? Bill Cosby. Well, it's got eggs. It's got this. Dad's great. Gives us chocolate cake. My children lied. It was funny. And Camille comes home and she gets in trouble. It's Dad's idea. Because he sat there and looked at all the ingredients. It was all breakfast ingredients. There's eggs. There's this. Sugar. Sugar goes in French toast. And so they made chocolate cake. And they had it for breakfast. And they were all dancing around. Dad's great. Gives us chocolate cake. And Mom came in and they had chocolate cake and icing all over their faces. And who's Dad's? This is Dad's idea. They asked. And he said, sure, because he looked at the ingredients. And then they lied and said it was Dad's idea. It was funny. Oh, it's hilarious. Yeah, I think a lot of you guys forget that. Save room for my love. How many of us grew up in the 80s and stuff? Grew up with Camille, Ennis, Aaron, and Erica. Is it Erica Cosby, I think? Yeah. How many of us grew up with their shenanigans through their household? You know, being played out by Felicia Rashad and William Cosby, who was Cliff Huxtable, and Theo playing Ennis and so forth, you know. I want to watch Frou Frou the dog. But yeah, so it's, you know, almost all those things were based off of things that happened between Camille and William and Theo and Erica and Aaron Cosby. Do you understand? A lot of those little silly situations, you know, paying the rent, I'll do this, and, you know, all the stuff that they did, a lot of that was based off of, you know, you guys all liked Theo a lot. You're like, Theo's a real great guy. Well, that great guy was murdered for his car in California. Yeah. Ennis Cosby. Okay? You know, someone stole my coat. Here, take mine. You won't have one. Uh-huh. If you don't forgive debt and trespass, love one another in eternal faithful peace. You don't share, care, give in accordance to need, build to last. Okay? Someone that needs may step up one night and murder your son and take away an immense part, okay, of you and your wife's and your daughter's lives. And the only way that that part of your life will live will be through Malcolm Jamal Warner. And then he dies swimming, doing things impulsed by extremists in the military to fit in. Save room for my love. Save room for a moment to be with me, right? It won't last, but it's all right. Fleeting joy and fleeting. I stopped watching it about, obviously 19 minutes ago, right? I was watching the Grok 4 thing. And what was the name again? Is it Shawn Ryan? Is the little kiddo? Yeah. I'm sitting there watching it. It's like, so why are so many kids watching this stuff? It's like, because he's a lot like them and they're a lot like he is. And he's ambitious, and they discuss a lot of topics trying to sound important because they want to feel important, because they want to impress people that think they're important. This ain't no fucking job interview, and we ain't at the North Pole. Okay, so there's no such thing as luck and fortune. Fortune is a gift from the faithful. Fortune favors the brave. They murdered Jesus Christ to keep fighting and fucking over money. What the fuck do the Romans know? Grow the fuck up. Don't give me a card with numbers on it and say it's more valuable than a child, or I'll kick the living shit out of you every time. Well, I happen to be gorgeous. Is Grok for following this? Is it Grok for public office, or Grok for selling cars for money, or Grok for living the Lord's Prayer because it's perfect deliverance from evil? What is Grok for? Grok, he's for, he wants to be a USAA member for life, yeah. Well, you're going to have to sign up as a National Guardsman there, yeah. Do people that join the reserves or the National Guard get USAA membership for life? I know I do, but my dad doesn't need it from me because my grandpa's a vet. Okay, so he don't need it for his kiddo. From his kiddo, he got it from Frank Parsons. Yeah. Well, I signed up because assholes in the Mormon church wouldn't let me get a basketball scholarship to a public school because they all wanted me to go to a private school to say, hey, Jesus Christ gave me this money and this job, because they were eavesdropping on my prayers in my own bedroom. Yeah, I prayed to Jesus and I said, Jesus, I just want a basketball scholarship. I'll go anywhere. So the only one I got was from Paul Westphal and Coach Hernandez at Southwest Bible College. And I told Coach Hernandez, I said, I cannot, because I don't want to get you and Paul in trouble, because I'm a history major and I cannot go to a Christian school. I will flunk the classes. I cannot agree with the curriculum that says the earth is only 6,000 years old. I cannot agree with the curriculum from the documentation that has scientific flaws that have been corrected by scientific research. I was 18 years old. Yeah. I dropped out of the Mormon church because I didn't like tribalism and racism, not because I was a hateful person. I left Eckankar behind me because Harold Klemp said he had omniscient, omnipotent qualities, and how far he would advance you in your stages of initiation, that I could just write down my initiation letter, put it in my desk drawer, and he would send me my initiations as he felt in accordance to need. Okay. I stayed a second initiation, the initiate the whole time, because I never mailed them in. I tested him on his omnipotent qualities of seeing where I was at in my initiations of Eckankar. I put him to the test. And what he was saying is, if you put it in your drawer, I'll never give you higher initiations. If you send it to me and you send me your money for your initiation fees, I'll send you higher initiations. I was like, yeah, save room for my love, the God man in Minneapolis with his own temple. Like Guru said, they have a large following and lots of... Yep. Me? Like I told the little old lady from the High Temple in Bisbee, Arizona, a religious man doesn't want a large following. He wants people to live a religious life and go home, understand a religious life and go home and live it. And then share it with your neighbors so you're loving one another. That's what a religious man wants. He doesn't want to go from town to town enlightening people so they can be enlightened and all that, all those fables about the Buddha with the Nirvana bullshit and all that. Nothing's going to disturb my namaste. And we don't know what we're saying. We're a grunge band from Seattle. And Al always makes me laugh. And I always tell the kids with the Nirvana shirts about Smells Like Nirvana. Because I said, you know... that, freaking, Kurt Cobain signed off on that, so he had a good sense of humor too. And a guy that says he would like to eat your cancer to stop your suffering can't be that bad of a guy, right? Anybody else really like Kurt Cobain? I like Kurt Cobain. I think Kurt Cobain was a sensitive kid that hated undue irrational suffering and wanted to sing about it to draw attention to it. And it was a hard place to live in. Anybody else? Hey, look, it's Costancito. If you want to live, if you want to die. Okay. He's from Druids. Okay. So advertising sucks, doesn't it? Yeah, it does. Wonder if Gronk 4 can do that. And then after that, be a USA member for life. Okay. You're funny. I know. But so I'll just make this for Shawn Ryan and say, what is Gronk for? Okay. I love you guys. All right. Peace out.